We are so pleased to have you as our honored guest. You are very precious to us, and we hope that you will be blessed today by our presentation. It is our gift of love and appreciation to you all. Studying historical characters, working on projects, and writing reports are all part of the 4th grade. Sometimes 4th graders are known to wait until the last minute to complete an assignment. This story is about a young girl who waits to write her paper until the night before it was due. She begins to daydream and meets some surprise visitors you may recognize. The 4th grade proudly presents Historical Hysteria. I'll never finish this paper by tomorrow. I haven't got the slightest idea what to write about. Someday, when I'm president, I'll outlaw homework.
Boston Harbor, teapot tonight! Boston Harbor, teapot tonight! Boston Harbor, teapot tonight!
What? Who? What are all of you doing in my room?
We are colonists. These costumes will protect our identities. We have had enough of the King of England. He has taxed too many items that we colonists need, like tea. Tonight, we will dump all this tea to Boston Harbor. The Boston Tea Party will be a protest.
But this isn't Boston Harbor. It's my bedroom.
Oh, I'm sorry. Some tea for you, miss?
Well, thanks.
Don't you think that the Boston Tea Party was a stroke of genius? And of course, it was all my idea.
Hey, wait a minute!
Well, I played a big part in it anyway. But Jenny, the tea party would make a wonderful topic for your paper. Your teacher would love it, and it could be all about me.
He that falls in love with himself will have no rivals. That is certainly true of you, Mr. Adams.
Who are you? Benjamin Franklin!
I'm here to help you with your paper. As a former newspaperman, I know how tough it is to find a story to write about.
Oh, go fly a kite.
I did. I proved that lightning was electricity. I like what you've done with my idea. Let's see, what else did I do? I signed the Declaration of Independence and the Constitution. Oh, and I opened the first United States post office. It was in Philadelphia. I gave it my stamp of approval. What are you folks doing?
Stamping out your joke!
And I invented the Franklin stove and bifocal glasses. I was an ambassador to France. Paris. Let me tell you, Jenny, what a lovely city. Paris. Of course, back then there were kings in France. And I was, of course...
The British are coming! The British are coming! The British are coming! The British are coming! Oh no, who are you?
Paul Revere, ma'am. My midnight ride will make a lovely theme for your homework assignment. After all, I was the one who warned the colonists that the British were marching out unconquered. I am also a silversmith by trade. May I interest you in a nice silver tray?
Look, I appreciate the help, but my family will be home soon. They'll be sure I'm having a party. And look at the time. I'll never have this paper ready in time.
You're a grand old flag, you're a high-flying flag,
And forever in peace may you wave. You're the emblem of the land I love, the home of the free and the brave.
Excuse me, ma'am. What are you doing in my room?
I'm Betsy Ross, the one who sewed the first American flag. My, I've seen you've changed my original design. Mine had 13 stars, one for each of the 13 colonies. Why are there 50 stars here? Don't tell me there are 50 states.
Yes, ma'am. A lot has changed in the past 200 years, Miss Ross.
Don't remind me of my age, Jenny. Anyway, we'll have this report thing sewed up in a jiffy. That woman always kept me in stitches. May I interest you in a nice silver thimble? As a matter of fact, yes. How much are they?
Well, this ornate model sells for... Cut it out. You'll all have to leave. I'm not kidding. My family will be home soon, and they'll...
Did I hear family? No one is more of a family man than I. I am George Washington, the father of his country. That's a joke, son.
Let's see. I was born in Virginia. I had very little school, maybe 7 or 8 years. My favorite subject was arithmetic.
Not that old story again.
Jenny, if you're lucky, George will bore himself to sleep. Then you can always tell people George Washington slept here.
I can't tell anybody about this. Understand, I don't mean to sound ungrateful, but nobody would ever believe it.
Ahem. As I was saying, I went on to be a land surveyor. And from my expert experience, I would say that there are far too many people in this small area, Jenny.
You're telling me?
It's a problem that is easily solved. Ask them all to leave and interview me for your homework assignment. My great bravery led me to be the commander of the Continental Army. Then I went on to be the president of the convention that wrote the United States Constitution. Then I went on to be the first president of the United States.
George, my good man, we all adore you. In our time, you were probably everyone's favorite colonist. But the truth is, you are quite long-winded.
How dare you? I haven't even...
Okay, folks, this is the next stop on the Underground Railroad.
For the night? An underground railroad? Sorry, miss, this is not a subway or a train station. It's my bedroom.
Railroad, did you say? Well, you need tokens to get on the train. And I might have some tokens here that I made in my shop. Nice try, Paul, but that's impossible.
Huh? There were no trains in our days. You would have never made tokens.
I'm afraid you have all misunderstood. I know this is not a train station. The Underground Railroad was a series of safety stops for slaves. As they escaped their way from the South, they would stop at Underground Railroad safety stations until they made their way to the North and freedom.
Oh, I've heard of you. Isn't your name Shower Person or something like that?
Tubman, Harriet Tubman, and I'll be glad to help you with your paper. Now, let's see. I was born a slave. I escaped from the South and slavery in 1849. But my freedom couldn't mean much unless I helped others get free. So I helped guide more than 300 slaves to freedom through the Underground Railroad.
It's very nice to meet you, dear.
I never drank such you could see. Now, man, don't blush. Remember, man is the only creature that blushes or needs to.
I hate to interrupt this touching scene. This is my room. I would like to know who this guy is.
All right, you tell him, Jenny.
I'm Mark Twain from Hannibal, Mo.
The name's Jenny, not Mo.
That's Hannibal, Missouri, Johnny. And besides, what's in a name? My name isn't Mark Twain either. It's just a name I used when I wrote my books. Perhaps you've read a few of them. Tom Sawyer, Prince and the Pauper, Huckleberry Finn, and I myself am truly something to write about.
What a phony. I think he's giving you a eye-washing, Jenny.
So you've read Tom Sawyer, sir. I see you've enjoyed the chapter in which young Tom fools his neighborhood into whitewashing his aunt's fence.
How could I have read your book? I was dead before you wrote it.
The author doesn't tell me who you really are, though.
If you must know, my real name's Samuel Clemens.
Oh, that makes a world of difference. Everybody out!
Sorry I'm late. I had the wrong address. Someone had given me the Gettysburg address. Come on, folks. It's the best I can do on such short notice. I was getting worried about you, President Lincoln. You were due to arrive here before Mr. Twain. Well, I'm here now. Jenny, I'll be glad to help you out with your paper.
Are you really Abraham Lincoln? You're so tall. I'm so short. How long do you think a man's leg should be, Mr. Lincoln?
Long enough to touch the ground, Jenny. Now back to your paper. You might start out how I was born in a log cabin. I walked to school every day. I was a lawyer, and finally, the president President of the United States of America. I guess I'm best known for my role in the Civil War. I helped free the slaves in that one. And you can start your paper this way. 77 years ago, our fathers brought forth.
I think that's been done, sir, by you.
I thought it sounded familiar.
It worked! It worked! Let's celebrate!
Cut it out. Who are you two? How dare you just barge in and start throwing a party?
We're the Wright brothers, Orville and Wilbur. The Wright brothers for what? No, W-R-I-G-H-T brothers. We invented the first man-power-driven flying machine. That story would make a great paper, Jenny.
The flight took place December 17th, 1903 in Kitty Hawk, North Carolina.
A flying machine? Well, I'll be. I like to ride in a flying machine.
Me too! Stop this all right now! If you all line up quietly, everyone will get a chance. Violence never solved anything. Am I right?
No, we're the Wrights.
Thank you, sir. May I ask, who are you?
I am Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. I was a civil rights leader in the 1960s. I helped get rights for blacks through peaceful protests. I won the Nobel Peace Prize. Perhaps you know my most famous speech. It begins, I have a dream.
I hope this is just a dream, but it seems more like a nightmare. I'll never get this paper done now. I might have had that just as well watch Star Trek tonight.
Space, the final frontier, and these are the voyages of the Starship Enterprise. Ooh, I just love shows about space.
Who are you?
I'm Sally Ride, the first woman to fly in space. What are you space cadets staring at?
Space? You won't be under its atmosphere?
What novel idea!
Oh, Mr. Franklin, what a pleasure it is to meet such a learned man. Why, your discoveries are part of the reason I was able to go up in a space shuttle. And Wilbur and Orville Wright, your discoveries have been a great help to NASA. And now, Jenny, I will help you. Let's talk about your paper on Sally Ride.
About that paper.
What about the paper? Remember what I said. I never tell a lie.
I too respect the truth. They called me Honest Abe.
Well, you have all been so nice, and any one of you would have made a terrific theme for my homework assignment.
Would have? From one rider to another. What are you talking about?
You'll never give me a chance to explain. This is a history paper. This assignment is what I did for my summer vacation.
I traveled more than 200 years for this.
Never you mind, dear. I know of a textbook, a history textbook company. They could use all of us there.
A textbook? What a grand idea. They would never be able to complete an American history textbook without me.
Or me.
Or me, or any of us. Think about it. Without the freedom set forth by the Founding Fathers, I never would have been able to speak freely about civil rights. And Miss Tubman and Mr. Lincoln are responsible for giving people the rights they deserve. And if it hadn't been for the scientific experiments done by Mr. Franklin, the Wright brothers never would have built a plane. Without their plane, Sally Ride never would have been able to go to space in a shuttle. We need more people like Mr. Twain too. Writers like him help us see our world through a different eye and with humor. So you see, we are all equally important. If any of us had done what we did, the world would have been a different place to live with.
The fourth graders, thank you for your kind attention. We hope you enjoyed the play as much as we enjoyed preparing it for you. Now I would like to introduce you our behind-the-scenes fourth graders. Our props and costume supervisor, Grace Drew. Our assistant director, Emily Walker. And I am your narrator and sound and light technician, Caroline Griffith.
They're so wonderful. Thank you for sharing these beautiful children with me. They bless me every day. What a treat it is to have you here. What talents, what talents they have. Where did they learn these accents? Oh,